Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. You know, we all had a lot of expectations heading into the 2024 election. It wasn't just the Trump victory, but of course the liberal tears, the leftoid meltdowns that were inevitable to follow. Well, we had all kinds of expectations that it was gonna be massive, but in the end, the Trump victory was just so decisive. The Democrats were in a full-blown implosion. I guess it just wasn't as shocking of a win as the Trump 2016 victory, and so the leftist meltdowns were a little bit tame. You know, there wasn't really much going on. Sure, the odd clip here and there, but for the most part, we were kind of in a drought. But funnily enough, I'm starting to notice now, months after the 2024 victory, the phenomenon known as the leftist meltdown is experiencing quite the uptick right now. You know exactly what's going on. Donald Trump is just hammering victory after victory, and now including paradigm-shifting legislation that's being passed. And so I guess the 2024 election is finally starting to set in. I think they're just now realizing the consequences of losing an election. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on here. Let's once again delve into the leftist brain. This is Your Brain on MSNBC. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks. So basically, exactly as I said, the meltdowns are back, baby.
Wake up! Stop acting like somebody is coming to save us! They're not! You have immigrants being deported for no goddamn reason! Taking kids from their families in Florida? And you think what? Someone's gonna fix it? Get angry! Wake up!
This regime doesn't give a if you die! These sick bastards in the house just passed their big, beautiful bill, and it's full of cuts to Medicare, Medicaid, and SNAP. That means poor people, sick people, disabled people, hungry families. Apparently your survival is too expensive. And Trump, he violated a court order again. 12 migrants got deported to South Sudan, a country they're not even from. And ABC, they just told you to tone it down on Trump. Are you kidding me? Tone it down while the country's on fire. We scream. We shove the truth in their faces. We call Trump exactly what he is. A fascist, a criminal. This isn't a political issue. It's a humanitarian emergency. We rise the up and we do not stop.
You won't get a 2026 election. That cancerous piece of bill is meant to determine whether or not we're complacent enough to allow this to happen. You think they'll let you have that parade on June 14th? You think they'll just let any of that happen? Make them pay now for ignoring us. You won't get another chance. Democracy dies in darkness, so burn so bright they can see it from across the ocean. Let the whole nation know, let the whole world know, we are better than this. We are better than that despot. That nepotistic narcissist. We are better.
Just remember, in a little over 3 years, they're all going to prison.
These clips are starting to pop up everywhere. Paranoid, delusional, grade A lunacy. It's full-on tantrum mode. Donald Trump passes key legislation, and in comes the zombie hordes on TikTok. It's unbelievable. It's again one of those we are not the same moments, because we just went through 4 years of Joe Biden, and they passed all kinds of legislation, and not once did you see deranged right-wing people with MAGA hats entering a full-on state of meth psychosis, ranting in front of an iPhone, veins about to burst, eyes about to pop out of your damn skulls. Yeah, it literally never happened. Joe Biden passed massive pieces of crushing inflationary spending, spent $2 trillion more nearly every single year than what was coming in tax revenues, massive inflation crisis, more dollars being funneled to the top 1% as regular people get crushed, but not once did you see people acting as deranged as this. You know, people on the right who were basically saying I told you so for 4 years actually had the right to get frustrated and get pissed off. These people, it's just a LARP, it's just an act. The Trump administration comes in, target waste, fraud, and abuse in the Medicare system, remove illegal aliens from the program, create a work requirement if you're able-bodied, so 35-year-old man-children need to go finally get a job if they want access to entitlements. You know, real common sense reforms and legislation changes, and holy frickin' frickin' moly. It's an existential crisis yet again, another constitutional crisis worth yelling into the microphone over. These people's brains have been propagandized. They don't even know the details. They don't read the bill. They just scream. They just LARP. I mean, this is late stage leftism. This is your brain on MSNBC. These people have been so brain melted by years of leftist academia, Democrat rhetoric, and Rachel Maddow monologues that they've lost the ability to formulate an actual opinion and engage in critical thought and analysis. It's just whatever Cory Booker or Eric Swalwell are yelling on TikTok, just repeat the damn line. Democrats have created this weird culture, man. They've developed this bizarre emotional dependency on constant existential panic. Donald Trump shakes someone's hand, and the reaction is, oh, well, there it is. Donald Trump's gonna put us in camps now. It's just so unreal, so over the top, not meeting the moment. They've created this culture of hypersensitivity, this constant theatrical outrage. The real leftist grassroots is a group of entitled adult children who don't know how to interface with people or the outside world and cannot handle disagreements with their very fragile, manufactured worldview. And it's just such a bad look. You know, it was bad in 2016, but it was mostly kind of surface level. And a lot of people overlooked it and thought that it was just a misdirection from the right, focusing on a small group of people. But no, it was a full-blown cultural movement, and now it's becoming increasingly more undeniable that this leftist insanity is basically what defines the modern left. It's what defines the grassroots. And Democrats lost in embarrassing fashion back in 2024, and they basically have to distance themselves from this embarrassing display, but instead there's this constant reminder it's constantly coming back. It's the monster that they've created that continues to now haunt them. This culture has essentially taken over the party. It's mob rule. They've encouraged this. They've incentivized this hysterical crybaby culture. They coach the people to scream, to march, to cancel, to harass. You're my little activist soldier, as Nancy Pelosi peeked from behind the tree as she rubs her wrinkled palms against each other. We've created an army, Nancy Pelosi says. You know, that's basically what it was. Like frickin' Sauron staring at his legion of orcs. They created these little Antifa super soldiers, and now that woke mind virus is completely taken over, and it's about to take over the party. David Hogg is a DNC co-chair. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Jasmine Crockett are now the face of the party. You can't get through the primary process without appealing to the most woke, insane stuff. That's why Kamala Harris said this.
When I was Attorney General, I learned that the California Department of Corrections, they were standing in the way of surgery for prisoners. I made sure that they changed the policy in the state of California so that every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access to the medical care that they desired and need.
Now you've got to appeal to the wokest of the woke, and pretty soon the Democrats are not going to be able to get away with once again rigging the primary process. They're going to have to take a hands-off approach at some point, at least temporarily, until they regroup and reformulate their new evil plan. Basically, this is the party. This is the face of the Democrat Party. Trump signing deals and getting trillions of dollars in investment pouring into the country. Taxes are going down. The economy is about to boom. Commodity production is going to be up, which is the core of everything. Stocks are going to rage. Trump's looking like frickin' Rocky Balboa walking out the tunnel, and Democrats are just screaming lunatics on TikTok. It's all about contrast, baby. That's what I'm always saying. And right now, Democrats are looking like the exact thing they're running away from. They're trying so desperately to convince you that they aren't. Us? Crazy? The last 9 years? No. That could never be me. It is you. We see it. It's now everywhere. This is the Democrat Party, the absolute schizo mob. And really, we might just be at the first step of this leftist woke mind virus contagion, because they seem to be taking over the body. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.